Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
Do you know that Ghana is mourning the loss of its 8 great heroes? Do you also know that this is not the first time Ghana has experienced a plane crash? This is Iru Tweets. When you stick with me, you will learn about the historical events surrounding plane crashes in Ghana. From 1969 to 2025, Ghana experienced several devastating aircraft crashes, each leaving indelible mark on the nation's history. These are threats on the aircraft crashes that shook the nation. April 24th, 1969, a Douglas C-47A-25-DL, registered as NG-AAF and operated by Ghana Airways, experienced simultaneous engine failure during its final approach to Takoradi Airport, Ghana. The aircraft, carrying 22 passengers and crew, was on a domestic flight from Accra. The pilot attempted an emergency landing in a clearing, but the plane crashed approximately 3 kilometers short of the runway threshold. 1 passenger was killed and 8 others were injured, 3 seriously injured. The cause of the engine failure remains undetermined, with possible factors including fuel exhaustion or contaminated fuel. No official accident report has been publicly released, and investigations at the time were inconclusive. June 5, 1970, a Ghana Air Force de Havilland, Canada DHC-2 Beaver, registration J-301, crashed in Den Django near the Boase village in the western region of Ghana. During a routine flight from Takoradi to Kumasi, all 7 occupants were killed. Rescue teams, assisted by local villagers, took 5 days to locate and watch the wreckage due to thick vegetation and the remote terrain approximately 30 miles from Takoradi. The loss was a significant blow to Ghana Air Force's limited fleet. Sparse records on the incident make it difficult to determine the definitive cause of the crash. November 13, 1978, a Piper PA-31-350 Navajo Chieftain, operated by Air Inter Gabon, crashed shortly after takeoff from Port Gentil, Gabon, killing the pilot and 3 passengers. The twin-engine aircraft used for passengers and cargo transport on a charter flight to the Ivory Coast went down in a wooded area west of Takoradi near the Ghana-Ivory Coast border and burst into flames on impact. The cause of the crash remains uncertain, with possible factors including mechanical failure or pilot error, though no official report has confirmed details. The incident disrupted local operations and prompted an investigation, but limited records hinder further clarity, including the identities of the victims. June 5, 2000, a Ghana Airlink Fokker F-27 Friendship 600, operated for the Ghana Air Force, crashed while landing at Koteka International Airport, Accra, from Tamale in heavy rain and low visibility. The aircraft, carrying 52 passengers and crew, touched down hard nose first on runway 21, causing the fuselage to break into 2. 7 passengers were killed. Ms. Judith Thompson of Pune, Dr. Marfo of the Center of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ms. Doris Lance, Switch National with the Institute of Linguistics at the University of Ghana, Legon, Dr. Abbas Adams, Mr. Paul Rosen, an American leading aircraftman, Alberta Ankara, and Martin Ancanford, a Nigerian. Several others were seriously injured. Survivors included pilots Wing Commander William Kekribasi and Flight Lieutenant Seth Owusu. The pilots reported poor visibility and had attempted landings in Lome, Togo, and Takoradi due to downpour, but were in contact with the control tower. The crash temporarily closed the airport. Defense Minister Lieutenant Ko EKT Donko stated it was early to determine the cause, pending an investigation. March 16, 2002, a Ghana Air Force Augusta Bell Fall 2 helicopter crashed in the Atiwa Forest near Sejimase in the eastern region, Ghana, killing all 7 on board during a medical evacuation mission from Nkokoro to Accra's 37 Military Hospital. Departing from Burma camp at 0700 GMT, the helicopter was transporting 2 critical injured individuals, a soldier, a Ministry of Defense civilian, along with a nurse from Holy Family Hospital. The victims were Wingman Commander Benjamin Champon, pilot, Light Lieutenant Seth Latte, co-pilot, Corporals Emmanuel Quincy, Joseph Bosumfi, and Frederick Edu Boston, and the civilians Mr. Deborah George and Mr. Victor Nyako, the nurse. Contact with Accra's control tower was lost and the wreckage was found after a 3-day search. The cause remains unclear, prompting Defense Minister Dr. Kwame Ado Kofor to ground all Air Force helicopters for inspection. With support from the Augusta Bell 412 manufacturers on April 4, 2002, the military personnel were buried at Osu Military Cemetery. Their coffin dropped in Ghana's flag. A large crowd, including Vice President Aliu Muhammad and a Togolese delegation led by Brigadier General Aseni Tijani, attended. Wreaths were laid by dignitaries and Air Force jet flyover honored the fallen. Reverend John Kwamina who took their sacrifice, highlighting the risk of such missions. January 12, 2007, a Ghana Air Force Mi-17 helicopter crashed at Edukun in the eastern region of Ghana while transporting the casket of Air Marshal Michael Okuku Utu, former Chief of Defense Staff, from Burma Camp, Accra, for burial in his hometown. During a landing attempt at Odukun Methodist Park, where family, mourners, and dignitaries awaited, the helicopter grazed the church, struck a Tigo communication mast and a tree, and crashed, bursting into flames shortly after. All 13 passengers and crew members escaped unharmed, but Air Marshal Otu's remains were incinerated in the blaze. A military pathologist threw the ashes, which were interred in a family vault, following a burial service on January 13, 2007 at Odukum Bethel Presbyterian Church. The cause of the crash remains unclear, with Harmattan haze as a possible factor. June 2, 2012, a Boeing 727-200F cargo plane operated by Allied Air as Flight DHV-3 from Lagos, Nigeria to Accra, Ghana crashed during landing at Kotoka International Airport. The aircraft, carrying 4 crew members, overran runway 03 in heavy rain and poor visibility, skidded through the airport's perimeter fence and collided with a minibus, a bicycle, and a taxi on an adjacent road. All 4 crew members survived the minor injuries, but 12 people on the ground were killed: 10 minibus passengers, 1 cyclist, and 1 taxi passenger. The Ghana Aircraft Accident Investigation Board attributed the crash to pilot error, citing a late touchdown 4,000 feet down the 13,000-foot runway, exacerbated by wet conditions and failure to initiate a go-around. The aircraft was written off. The incident led to calls for improved runway safety measures at Kotoka. October 6, 2015, a Starboard Airline BAE 146-300 Flight S9-1109G-SBB from Accra to Tamale overran runway 23 at Tamale International Airport, Ghana at 0831 local time, collapsing the nose gear and sustaining irreparable damage. All 76 passengers and crew disembarked safely with no major injuries. The runway was shortened to 1,816 meters due to construction, and possible factors like rain or winds were noted, though the exact cause was under investigation by the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. The incident, Starboard's second major accident in a year, highlighted ongoing safety issues for the airline, which ceased operations in 2017. March 19, 2024, a Ghana Air Force Haben Z-9 helicopter crash landed near Busunkru, a Hantan West Municipal District, Western Region, Ghana, during a routine offshore power line inspection of the Atuobo gas plant. The helicopter, carrying 21 passengers, Ghana National Gas Company staff and aircrew, suffered a suspected tail rotor malfunction, causing it to lose balance and crash into trees about 20 meters from the Busunkum road. No fatalities occurred, but 3 passengers were hospitalized, 1 transferred to Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra. The Ghana Armed Forces, led by Brigadier General Eric Agri Kwashi, launched an investigation with support from the China National Aero Technology Import and Export Corporation. Locals disputed the GAF's emergency landing claim, describing it as a crash. And this is the recent among them all. August 6, 2025, a Ghana Air Force Haben Z-9 helicopter crashed in the Adanse Akufum District, Ashanti Region, Ghana, after departing from Kotoka International Airport in Accra at 0912 a.m. en route to Obuasi for an event addressing illegal mining, Galamsey. The helicopter, carrying 3 crew members, 5 passengers, lost radar contact and reportedly struck a tree and burst into flames in a dense forest near Adanse Bofedu. All 8 on board perished, with the wreckage found beyond recognition. The victims were Dr. Edward Omani Buama, Minister of Defense, Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Alhaji Muniru Murtala Limuna, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Samuel Abuaje, former NDC parliamentary candidate for Obuasi East, Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, crew member, Flying Officer Nane Chum, Ampedu, crew member, Sergeant Ernest Adomaisa, crew member. The cause remains under investigation, with the black box recovered to aid inquiry. President John Mahama declared 3 days of national mourning, ordered flags to half-mast, and announced the state funeral for August 15, 2025 at Black Star Square. The crash, described as a national tragedy by Chief of Staff Julius Debra, prompted condolences from leaders in organizations including the UN and the African Union. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more creative, educational, and entertaining videos.